Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we are tackling something we all feel, the absolute exhausting weight of modern options. I mean, think about it. You wake up and you instantly have to choose between, 15 different types of milk for your morning coffee before your brain is even fully online? Society constantly tells us that having more is always better. But is it? Today, we're exploring insights from The Elegance of Enough, a guide to less choice and better decisions, to see exactly why streamlining your life might just be the ultimate hack for your mental well-being. Let's get into it.
Honestly, I want you to ask yourself right now, does having more actually mean having better? Because we live in an era that just aggressively champions endless accumulation. We have infinite streaming options, overflowing closets, and restaurant menus the size of literal novels. We naturally assume that layering on all these options paves the road to happiness, freedom, and personal expression. But the research, and honestly, the reality of our mental state, points in the exact opposite direction. Think of that dreaded Netflix scrolling paralysis. Sometimes having every movie ever made right at your fingertips just means you end up watching absolutely nothing.
Okay, let's dive into this. Our source text lays it out with a stark warning. Adding more things would add burden. It sounds almost counterintuitive, right? But really think about it. When we are faced with an avalanche of options, it actually dilutes our ability to make a quality, confident choice. Instead of feeling liberated, we end up feeling trapped by the sheer volume of possibilities. Every single new thing we add to our lives isn't automatically a blessing. Quite often, it's just a brand new weight we've got to carry. Which brings us directly to the core issue here, the problem with more. According to our text, that constant low-level hum of wanting more doesn't lead to deep satisfaction. It leads to a state of chronic dissatisfaction. When your baseline state of mind is always looking around and asking, well, what's next, or what else is out there, you completely lose the ability to appreciate what is right in front of you. That hunger never stops, and it just leaves us feeling deeply restless and constantly on edge. Look at this clear line in the sand regarding our human impulses. Attending to all our fleeting desires? Well, that just leads to disturbance. A desire is an endless loop. As soon as you feed one, bam, another pops up. But meeting our core needs and necessities keeps us peaceful and content. This is the fundamental dichotomy we're unpacking in this explainer. It's the profound difference between a restless mind constantly chasing the next shiny object and a grounded mind that inherently knows when enough is truly enough.
So, how do we actually fix this modern dilemma? Well, the answer is a highly practical, mechanical shift. Less choice equals better decisions. By consciously and, quite frankly, ruthlessly limiting the menu of options you present to yourself, you actually sharpen your mental focus. You aren't wasting vital cognitive power filtering through the noise, which means the decisions you do make are significantly higher in quality.
To understand why this works so effectively, we absolutely have to talk about decision fatigue. Our source defines this perfectly as the mental energy spent on making choices. Think of your brain like a battery, right? Every single time you have to decide what to wear or which of the 50 brands of cereal to buy, you drain a little bit of that battery. It's exactly why tech leaders like Steve Jobs famously wore the exact same turtleneck every single day. They were protecting that mental battery. Giving yourself fewer options acts as a protective shield against this unseen daily drain.
And this brilliantly illustrates what happens when we prioritize essential choices. The next steps just naturally fall into place. First off, we cut out the fluff and focus on what actually matters. Because we've done that, we make more deliberate, informed decisions. We actually have the reserved brain power left to think things through clearly. And the final, beautiful result? We significantly increase our satisfaction with the outcomes. When you aren't plagued by second-guessing a million abandoned alternatives, you can actually sit back and genuinely enjoy the choice you made.
But, even knowing all of this intellectually, we still struggle in the real world, don't we? Let's acknowledge our modern anxiety. We are collectively carrying what the text so accurately calls the burden of accumulation. It is a massive psychological toll. The physical things we hoard in our closets, the digital subscriptions we endlessly stack up, the social obligations we blindly say yes to, they aren't just taking up space in our physical environment, they are actively taking up premium, vital, real estate in our minds.
I mean, think about how it feels when your schedule or your house is just completely overwhelmed. A cluttered physical space quickly, and I mean quickly, translates to a cluttered mind. It makes it incredibly hard to focus. That leads rapidly to increased stress. The constant, frantic pursuit of acquiring more, upgrading more, doing more, it completely spikes our anxiety. And ironically, the ultimate end result is diminished enjoyment of it all. We become simply too stressed out by the sheer volume of our lives to enjoy any of the individual pieces.
And then there's this. The excitement of acquiring new things often fades quickly, leaving us yearning for the next thrill. Psychologists literally call this the hedonic treadmill. You get the new gadget, you buy the new clothes, you get that quick dopamine hit, and then almost instantly it's gone. The thrill just evaporates, and your happiness level resets to exactly where it was before, leaving you immediately looking for the next purchase to fill the void. It is a textbook recipe for fast-fading consumer burnout.
Okay, let's just take a breath. Let's slow things down for a second. If that frantic treadmill of constant accumulation is the problem, what exactly is the antidote? This is where we must transition from the absolute chaos of accumulation to the quiet clarity of needs versus desires. Understanding and respecting the fundamental difference between these two powerful forces is absolutely vital to reclaiming your mental energy and your happiness.
So, the crucial point is this. Focusing on our basic needs provides a stable, secure baseline for a good life, leading directly to true fulfillment. On the other hand, chasing excessive desires is like throwing rocks into a perfectly still pond. It just creates endless, disruptive ripples that muddy the waters. We must actively separate what builds a solid, immovable foundation for our happiness from what merely clutters up our minds.
Successfully bridging that gap requires adopting a daily practice of mindful consumption and inner peace. Now, this doesn't mean you can never buy anything fun or enjoy the modern world ever again. It simply means consciously and thoughtfully choosing what adds genuine value to your existence. It's this warm, encouraging process of auditing your life and reducing the unnecessary stress. By intentionally letting go of fleeting desires, we literally clear the mental space required to cultivate a profound and lasting sense of inner peace.
This all leads us to an incredibly powerful concept, embracing the elegance of enough. The key to a truly fulfilling life, honestly, isn't found in modern maximalism. It's found in knowing your personal limits and discovering the inherent beauty in them. True overall well-being comes from designing a lifestyle where simplicity is valued way over complexity, and where the concept of enough is celebrated rather than viewed as some sort of settling or compromise.
Let's move to and see how this builds into 3 actionable steps you can apply today. Step 1. Embrace simplicity by actively looking for ways to streamline your choices, from your wardrobe right down to your morning routines. Step 2. Practice gratitude. When you focus intensely on the immense value of what you already possess, you instantly short-circuit that endless craving for more. And step 3. Prioritize needs over desires. Make this your primary filtering mechanism for everything from what you buy at the store to how you spend your free time.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final, kind of provocative thought. Are your daily choices serving a true need, or just feeding a fleeting desire? I challenge you to take a hard, honest look at your consumption habits starting tomorrow. The philosophy of minimalism and reducing choice isn't about self-deprivation. No, it's about true liberation. It's about freeing yourself from the heavy burden of more, so you can finally appreciate the profound elegance of enough. Thank you so much for learning with me today.